You guys know that song that goes, bye, bye, bye. Yeah, we're going to be talking about bye-bye today. You are enjoying the Step Out and Thrive podcast. Hey, welcome back to the Step Out and Thrive podcast. My name is Bethany B. Joy, and if you're here, well, community must be important to you. At least if you pour out, you're looking for a place that, well, you could be poured back into, a place where you don't have to add to your responsibilities, a place where you can just be and grow. Well, that's what Step Out and Thrive is. In fact, it's my dream that you don't just experience community here, but you take what you learned here and you make community in your area of practice so that you can dare to do more than just survive and to step out and thrive in your calling. If you're here, this is the last final episode of our Roots series. Whew! Man, what a series this has been. It's been pretty fun actually going through a lot of these different and hard topics, right? But you will see as we've gone through, a lot of them are just areas to see, okay, how am I doing in that area? Just like a doctor checkup, how am I doing in that area? Very rarely do I ever go to the doctor and he would go, yes, you're great in all the areas. Like, I seriously can't remember the last time that happens. Maybe it gets worse as we get older. I don't know. Anyway, it is kind of like that. So you're not looking for a perfect score. Instead, it allows you to see where you've grown and where you want to go. And it allows you to kind of know, okay, if the car is steering off, to kind of get a wheel alignment before the wheels fall off, which can happen too. So with that being said, today we are talking about grieving, which is a hard topic. And I will say, because I get asked this a lot, grieving is not simply the loss of someone in your life. I mean, that's huge. I'm not underestimating that. That is huge. But the truth is, we're always usually grieving something. Grieving a business that maybe didn't make it. Grieving a financial decision that had to be made that meant you had to say goodbye to something else. Grieving different people that necessarily didn't pass on, but maybe had to move. Grieving different positions. There's so many things that happen in our life that if we don't grieve well, that will come back and will really help us move on. Grieving isn't something that can be taken lightly. Grieving is a process. Grieving is the way that we can truly love well. The only thing is we have to take our time to actually do it. In my life, I feel like there's been so many things, especially the last couple of years, that I've had to say goodbye to. One of the hardest things has been saying goodbye to driving. Oh my goodness, that was hard. But it did happen. And I had to say goodbye to that. I've had to say goodbye to going really all by myself places. I at least have to have my guide dog with me. And I feel better now that that's the truth. I've also had to say goodbye to when I was working at the church. And I had to accept that, okay, I was going to work from home. I've had to say goodbye to different kind of groups that I've formed in Step Out and Thrive. Because I knew that the timing had ended for that and a new group needed to happen and things need to look in a different way. But recently, one thing I've realized, and it's been so hard, is that I love to help out different communities, especially groups that are struggling or helping facilitators come into different group environments and learn how to lead well. I love to do that. And some of y'all know for Step Out and Thrive, I do that. That's part of my business. I love to do that. But sometimes I get a little carried away, meaning I can look at my calendar and realize, 5 out of the 6 meetings I've had today were volunteer, and only one resulted in a potential client. And that's hard. Can we just be real about that? That is hard reality to hit sometimes. I have a huge heart and I love to watch people succeed. In fact, it's funny because sometimes I can be so excited and energetic about some of these volunteer meetings, and I'm like, oh, wait, I actually had to do something for my own business. Not that it's sad, but it's just like, oh man, I'd rather be doing this over here. And sometimes I even find myself getting jealous. I'm like, wait a second, why can't that happen over here with Step Out and Thrive? And the truth is, it might be able to if I took the time and energy and invested it into Step Out and Thrive. So what am I saying about all of this? Well, I've had to learn that I've had to say goodbye to some really amazing opportunities, but that just weren't in the right season for me right now. I have major FOMO, fear of missing out. I want to be part of everything, especially if I feel like, wait, I'm gifted in this area. And I'm learning that other people can be gifted in the same area. It can look different. And life can go on even without me being a part of it. It's been a really hard lesson to learn. And the truth is, I made it harder on myself pretending like it wasn't a big deal. And the truth is, especially when I realized a lot of these places that I was volunteering and giving time at could really easily go forward without me, well, I had a little bit of an issue with that. I wanted to be wanted. We all want to be wanted. But at the end of the day, a lot of times, life does go on. So I needed to take time and actually grieve well. And I did. For me, what I ended up doing is I ended up slowly taking those meetings off my calendar. And instead of just immediately having that as open space, because many of y'all know, if you go to book time with me on my calendar, there's places that are already taken and places that are open. Well, I decided to leave that space filled. And I just reminded myself what those meetings were for and why they were important to me. The reason I left that on there for the next couple weeks was to remind me that that was a loss. But it didn't have to stay that way. There were things that I've learned by my involvement with some of these different places that I couldn't have gained if I just did what I love to do here at Step Out and Thrive. Step Out and Thrive is better because of my involvement in there. But I needed time to process that for myself. And in order to do that, well, sometimes good things have to come to an end. Sometimes goodbyes have to be said. And I didn't want to just necessarily take that space up with something else just to fill that void. How do you grieve well with the losses in your life? Granted, sometimes they don't always feel big, right? They feel like, okay, I'm just moving on to the next thing. It's fine. Grieving well isn't a weakness. It actually lets you love stronger. I believe a lot of us, especially in today's American culture, do not grieve well. Even in the loss of people, we do not grieve well. We look at people who have lost family members, spouses, children, and we expect the period of grief to be measured in time. And grief comes in waves. At the same time, we don't always necessarily to stay in that huge period of grief. But it can happen. As this series comes to an end, I'd be crazy not to address this. That endings have both joy and also sadness attached. And the fact that we can carry both shows so much emotional maturity. So my question to you, are you ready? Are you ready to grieve well? At the end of the day, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you decided to do this series with us. As always, dare to do more than just survive. Step out and thrive. Feel free to join us on our community.stepoutandthrive.com. Or just go to Step Out and Thrive and click Join the Community. You can check out all the other past podcasts and meet some of the members under each podcast that you may not have known yet. Love to have you. So excited that you're here and cannot wait to see you for our next series that begins next week. See you guys back then. Bye. Thanks for enjoying today's Step Out and Thrive podcast, the one place that you can always count to dare to do more than just survive, to step out and thrive. As always, for more information, please check out BethanyBJoy.com or StepOutandThrive.com.